Hey guys, I'm back with the second installment of this starter designing series on the channel. The obvious next step for this series is to move on to the fire starter, but I strongly urge you to go and take a look at the previous video, where we go through designing the grass starter and its evolutions in depth. It'll help you understand a lot of the theming present within this starter trio too, so go check it out. I'll wait here while you do. Done? Good. Now it's time to look at the fire starter. As you obviously know, because you watched the last video, the land we're working with for this region is the very broad and varied South and Central America. Anywhere from Mexico to the bottom of Argentina is on the table, so if you've got any concepts for Pokemon that one might see in a land like this, let me know. I feel like I'm sorely missing ideas based around countries like Chile and Venezuela, as Mexico and Brazil make up a large density of the current Pokemon, so once again any ideas are appreciated. I've been working on this region over on my Instagram for the past 10 months, at Ryoma Region. So I've got a ton of great concepts to share with you that I'll be redrawing, redoing, and remixing over on this YouTube channel, so look forward to that. This starter Pokemon didn't come quite as easy inspiration-wise, but I think that just made me work harder at it. The obvious starting point when picking out a fire starter is to go straight to the good old Chinese Zodiac, but we're not going to do that here. As much as I love the Fakemon community, the limits that have been set by the starter trends have hindered creativity in starter Pokemon for a long time. If you don't know, the fandom has picked up on certain shared traits of all starter Pokemon. The Chinese Zodiac for fire, extinct creature or fauna for grass, and a weapon theme for water. While I think the grass and water patterns are a little bogus, I'm not fully doing away with these self-imposed rules. No, I'm switching it up. You may be wondering which extinct creature or fauna Frog takes inspiration from, but instead you should be wondering which weapon it's themed around, my answer being the whip. Switching around the theming allows for a more interesting and unpredictable set of starters, so look forward to seeing which extinct creature or fauna this fire starter is based on, and keep in mind the Chinese Zodiac next time when we look into the water line. So, if we're not going with the Zodiac, which animal is the basis? Well, keeping in line with our countries of inspiration, I'm choosing the macaw to be the creature of choice. Native to all of South and Central America, as well as Mexico, macaws and parrots make excellent companions to people and are even kept as pets. Unfortunately, many species are critically endangered, and conservation efforts are currently underway to save these poor birds, a detail that will be featured in their Pokédex entries. Like red-eyed tree frogs, macaws have incredibly bright colours that would be hard to do justice. Let's find out how that goes. The secondary inspirations for this Pokemon start right out of the gate, and in a way that is very well implemented if I do say so myself. The main theme present throughout this whole evolution line is that of dance, something very important in the culture of this region and its real life counterpart. Each stage of the line we base on a different style of dance, but this one will be themed around ballet. While not incredibly relevant to the countries here, ballet is perfect to represent a beginner dancer just starting out as a child, being clumsy and very rough around the edges. And I'm incredibly proud of myself for being able to incorporate that idea into the design of a macaw so seamlessly. I wrapped up the tiny parrot body in its wings, folding them up at the bottom to form a little puffy tutu. Its legs and feet are shaped like ballet shoes, and it also has a fiery ribbon tail, another feature of some dance routines. As I mentioned in the last episode, base form starter trios have funny, serious and cool ones, or at least they do in Gen 5. Here, Flacor fills out the serious one, although it may not look it. These birds are incredibly serious about improving their dance skills and can be tough on themselves often, something that you'll see carried through the line. These things mixed together just turned out so well, and I'm unbelievably happy with how this base stage turned out. It's my favourite of the three. Flacor, the ribbon Pokemon, fire and flying type. In an attempt to look elegant, Flacor wrapped their tiny wings around their torso to form a tutu. While clumsy, their performances are extremely mesmerizing due to their brilliant flaming ribbon tails. Flacor are becoming increasingly rare in the Ryoma region, even compared to other starter Pokemon. Conservationist efforts are put in place to help them, but they are more interested in dance practice than survival. This line will probably have the biggest makeover of all the starters in these videos from their previous iterations, which can be found on my Instagram. Here's the former version of Flacor. It's cute, but it lacks the clever details of the new version, and it's also just strangely poorly drawn, even for my skill level at the time. For its hidden ability, Flacor steals Oricorio's signature, gaining the dancer ability too. Alright, let's see how this dancing theme develops in the next evolution. As I mentioned last episode, my favourite starters have a development in skill and personality as they grow into their final stages, and Flacor's line once again take a note out of Scorbunny's book, starting out as a rookie dancer before beginning to train and practice and eventually flourishing into their second and final evolution. But as they grow, this line will pick up a new type of dance each time, and for this one, I chose the Brazilian style of dance known as Frevo. And this was an absolute stroke of genius. Not only does the style relate directly to the inspiration, but is also mainly performed at the Brazilian carnival, which, if you hadn't guessed, is the direction this line is headed. Full-on carnival dancer. But wait, there's more. The word frevo comes from the Portuguese word friva, meaning, and get this, to boil. How perfect is that for a fire type? The performance is meant to make people feel as if they're boiling on the ground. The dance uses umbrellas and features high jumps in the air that I incorporated into the design. The chest feathers of this evolution form an umbrella head, while the fiery tail curls up inside of the feathers to form an umbrella handle in the design. I'm incredibly proud of how I managed to handle all of these concepts together in this design, and I hope you like it just as much as I do. Embrevo, the celebration Pokemon, fire and flying type. This Pokemon's large chest plumage form an umbrella-like shape around its neck, allowing Embrevo to glide softly through the air. Their fiery tails lead inside the pocket, allowing for extra insulation when needed. Embrevo are extremely jolly, putting on shows for the public in dance troupes. However, if one Embrevo steps a foot out of line, the others will become very hostile towards it. Embrevo used to be incredibly different, an almost carbon copy of Oricorio named Fiesta. While I liked it well enough, I'm happy I came across Frevo while researching this video, as it really helped the design to flourish better than it would have if Embrevo still looked like Fiesta. The name Embrevo is decently clever too. It combines Ember and Frevo, but it also references its title as the Firestarter middle evolution, being the Embrevo. Okay, let's move on to Flacor's final form. For this final stage, the one thought in my mind was extravagance. Go big, go bold, go flashy, go have fun. The usual design process when coming up with Fakemon is to chip away at one sketch, erasing areas I'm not happy with and redrawing them until I am. But with little idea of where to go with this design, I found myself unhappy with where the first rendition ended up entirely. The original form of this final evolution was the most underwhelming of the original designs on my Instagram, so I knew I wanted to blow everyone away with this final form. Unfortunately, regal and beautiful Pokemon are harder to do properly than menacing, humanoid or cute ones. I looked primarily to carnival dancers for this final stage, who dance the samba, thus this being the final type of dance that this Pokemon picks up as it will evolve. The plumage worn by people at these events is almost too fitting of the macaw, so the challenge was to try not to overdo the colours and feathers while still conveying the incredible craftsmanship of these costumes in Pokemon form. I think I actually undersold the inspiration originally and was unhappy with it as a representation of this culture, so I decided to come back to it later, changing the head fire into a long flowing feathery headpiece, which I think really solidified the design to something I was happy with. At the Brazilian Carnival, they will elect a Carnival Queen each year, and I wanted this Pokemon to reflect this in its attitude. It's befitting of the queenly vibe and is serious about its status, but can still party wildly when needed. I tried giving it pupils where the eyes were originally supposed to be closed, which I liked at first, but eventually I went back on that. Finally, if you're wondering which extinct animal it's based off, then look no further than the terror bird, an apex predator of the Cenozoic South America. These terrifying creatures went extinct around the time of human arrival. While not perfect, this Pokemon's draped back feathers, large beak, and loss of flying type work well to pull off the ironic twist of making a beautiful terror bird. While I was originally far more mixed on this line, a deep dose of clever inspiration and a well integrated design have finally made me love this Pokemon. Carne Vulcan, the Carnival Queen Pokemon. Fire and Fairy type. Carne Vulcan are the most refined and disciplined dancers in their troupe. Creating toppling infernos around them as they dance, crowds will risk getting burned just to experience the spectacle. Ryoma's collection of Carne Vulcan come together once a year to show off their skills and compete to become the true Carnival Queen. These dance battles will often devolve into scraps, quite unfitting of their elegance. The original Carne Vulcan was one of the few Fakemon from my Instagram that I've actively been given criticism about, and I totally get it. It's a little over-designed, which it was meant to be, but it felt tacked on and unnatural. It was also pretty ugly, if I'm honest. I think I've taken the best parts of that design and applied them here into a package that works far better. Carne Vulcan has a special hidden ability known as Luminary Dancer, which will double the effects and damage of all dancing moves and will make Revelation Dance, another move it stole from Oricorio, a stab fire move. This might make Carne Vulcan a little overpowered, especially knowing the effective strategies that can come out of many stat boosting dance moves, but unlike Game Freak, I'm not bound by the restrictions of game balancing. It also has a brand new signature move called Fiery Fiesta, which is a special move that has high damage and boosts one random stat. It probably wouldn't be considered a dance move, or maybe Luminary Dancer would just double the random stat buff, I'm not sure. What I am sure on though is that you should leave a like on this video. We're almost finished up with the starters, and I think you're going to be in for a real treat when we get around to designing the water one, so make sure you're subscribed for that. I'm really happy with how Carne Vulcan and its pre-evolutions turned out, but if you've got any ideas for improvements or ideas for the future of this South American Fakemon region, I'm all ears. Check out my Instagram at RyomaRegion, and thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one.